Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
My name is Eitan Cantor.
Yeah, this is Eitan Cantor.
Please, go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Eitan. It's such a... I just want to return to that feeling after that long note that Eitan led us in the way that singing brings us together and brings our voices together and ourselves together in a way that is not replicated in many places in our world. Where else in our world do we come together with other people who are different from us, with whom we don't work, with whom we don't live near, right? Where else do we come together with people who think differently than us, who behave differently than us, who vote differently than us, people of different races, gender identities, sexualities, if not in houses of worship, in synagogue, right? And we come together to do this practice of singing together, of blending our voices together. And I truly believe that we are training our brains to do this in the world. And that is the purpose of song and prayer. To train our minds to live in harmony with other people in the world, literally and figuratively. We begin our service with those words, Ve'ahavta l'recha kamocha.
Page 102.
Page 102. And of course, it's a beautiful sentiment. Ve'ahavta l'recha kamocha. You should love your neighbor as yourself. That's easy to say. We all agree with it. Unless you don't like your neighbor. Unless your neighbor's leaving garbage on your lawn. Right? Oh, it's easy to say love your neighbor as yourself unless, that person has obnoxious ideas to you, right? This is a mitzvah because it's hard to do. And it's with that kavanah that we come together, and why it's so important, even despite the pandemic, to come together as safely as we can, and to have a weekend of song and music with our scholar in residence, Eitan Cantor, who I'm pleased to welcome back after nearly 2 years since we had our first visit with you in January of 2020, and we were looking forward to another visit in April, and we all know what happened in between. And here we are 2 years later, fulfilling our relationship, the agreement that we made 2 years ago to have another visit. And it is a pleasure to welcome you, Eitan, to our community again. I know many people here know you and remember you fondly. And go ahead and we'll continue. I think you're leading us? No, Danny is leading us. Ve'ahavta l'orecha kamocha, page 102.
Hareini mekabel alai et mitzvot haborei ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha reacha kamocha.
Turn now to page 122. We're going to go to page 122 and begin Psuke de Zimra with Baruch Shamar, page 122, and we rise.
Baruch Hu, Baruch Shemo, Baruch Hu, Baruch Shemo, Baruch
Baruch She'amar v'hayah ha'olam. Baruch She'amar v'hayah ha'olam. Baruch Oseh
a seat. We're going to turn to page 134. It's about 6 lines down on the page.
Magalu Masahaya Meoram Kumashevot Hallelujah, hallelujah, Magalu
Page 139.
We're turning together to Psalm 148. And this psalm includes a lot of powerful imagery of nature, of the natural world around us. We hear about all the hosts of heaven, including the sun and the moon, the bright stars, the highest heavens and the waters above, praising Hashem. And I see this psalm as an opportunity to really be in the physical world. In Judaism, we have a lot of opportunities to be in our brains and maybe less invitations to be in our bodies and in the actual world around us. But in this moment, when I'm thinking about the world, physical world around me, and I look up, I'm not seeing the highest heavens, and I'm not looking down and seeing the crashing waters. I'm seeing a ceiling with ceiling paneling. I'm seeing carpeting. And so I want to give us an invitation to actually be present in the space that we're in now. My friend Eliana Light did a beautiful exercise on Zoom where she asked everybody to notice something in the room that they were in that they had never noticed before. And when she did this exercise, it was in April 2020, and I hadn't left my apartment for like 2 months. And still, in that room that I had been sitting in on Zoom every day, there were so many things that I had not noticed. So as we enter Psalm 148, this call to be in the physical world, I want to take like 15 seconds for us all to look around and notice something physical that we never noticed before. Let's take that time now. And as we notice that texture in the room, and we remember the incredible texture in our entire world, we can start to feel every bit of texture, every molecule in this world, praising the oneness, praising all that is creation. Let's sing Psalm 148, and it starts with Hallelujah, which we can sing together, repeating like this. Hallelujah. sounds so nice.
We continue on page 145.
I want to give us another invitation as we move into the Shacharit service, that we are allowing ourselves to listen. The Talmud talks quite a bit about the importance of listening and says that the body has hundreds and hundreds of parts, but they all live through the ears. And so as we move into Shacharit, I want to invite you to notice at least two specific other voices around you. Who around you can you hear their voice? And I feel so honored to have my high school choir teacher here, Ms. Fassman, who taught us so much about listening and about listening twice as loud as we're singing. So as we move into Nishmat, the invitation is to listen. Nishmat kol chai tivarech et shimcha Adonai Eloheinu nishmat kol chai tivarech et shimcha Adonai Eloheinu, Yidai, Yidai, Yidai. We're moving to page 147 for Shochein Ad. Befi, Befi, Yeshari, Titala, Titala,
It feels good to sing together. I actually invite you to a moment to recognize how you feel in your body today at this moment. Because it feels good to empty our lungs with song. Let's continue singing together. We're going to turn now to page 148. and we'll rise.
Yishtabach Shimcha Lad Malkeinu. Brachot vehodaot ve'ata v'adolam. Baruch ata Adonai el melech gadol batishbachot el haodaot Adon haniflaot abocher b'shirei zimra melech elchei haolamim. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbai Alma dibra kirtei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechonu v'yomechon u'chayei v'chol beit Yisrael b'agala u'bizman karim imru Yitbarach, Yitpar, Yitramam, Yitmaseh, Yithadar, Yitalev, Yithalal, Shemei Dekudesha, B'rechu, Leila, Min Kol Birchata V'Shirata, Tushvechata V'Lechem Damira Be'alma, Imeru.
Eitan invited us earlier to hear the voices around us, hear our own voice blending with the voices around us. It takes a certain modulation, right, to find that volume of your own that allows you to hear others and hear yourself and identify clearly voices around you. I really believe we can't truly pray as a community unless we know the people with whom we are praying. And that's the purpose of Baruch. It's a call and response. This is the moment at which, having warmed up in Psukkah de Zimra, we constitute a minyan, a community, to daven the formal part of Shachari. So, I want to invite you to take a few moments. We're going to maybe take 30 seconds. And just the people around you. Greet the people around you, especially somebody that you may not have seen in a long time because of pandemic and so on. Give them a little fist bump or a knowing wink of your eye. You squint your eyes, it looks like you're smiling.
Wink to you.
Hey, good to see you. Good to see you. Hey, good to see you. How are you feeling so far? You're doing awesome. I mean, it's great. And really, I mean, that Shochanah is like, to sing that way, oh my God, like, and everyone picked it up intuitively, you know? I mean, that not that they don't know it, but they know the melody.
It felt really, really good. It really gave me shivers. It was good.
See people that I haven't seen for years, friends that I meet from camp and Sweet.
You're an
Everyone's still
excellent
here.
drummer. That's good to know. Maybe we'll chat a little bit. Wonderful. Yeah, Mitch is he's the guy.
This is huge room.
Awesome.
You're starting to travel now?
New drummer.
A little bit.
Yes.
Turn off my mic.
I know. We have a drum. Do you want to do a drum?
And my dad.
Not the red one? This is where you start, my friend. There you go.
Signal them to go into their seats. כערכך אדוני אלוהינו בעולם הזה, ואין זולתך מלכנו לחיי עולם הבא. אפס בלתך גואלנו למות המשיח, ואין דומה לך מושיענו לתחיית המתים. Page 151.
El Adon Kol Hamasim Baruch Baruch V'Kol Neshama Gadol V'Tshuvo V'Alei Olam Na'adut Turato V'Rimoto V'Mikol Chayot HaKodesh V'Nera Lechavot Al Merkavot V'Vut U'Mishol V'Nei Knisot V'Seder Rachamim L'Pnei Kodo Tovim Me'orot Shebara Eloheinu Yitzhak V'Ta'at B'Rina U'Basher Torah V'Torah Natan B'Hem B'Yom Moshe V'Kerem Tevel V'Leim Zivum Tiknim Nogan Na'eh Zivom L'Chol Ha'olam V'Smechim V'Smechtam V'Sasim V'Voam Osim Be'em Ha'retzon Chonam Ve'eret Avon Nogid Lishmot Shalach Verina Lezecher Malchuto Kara L'Shemesh V'Yizrach Orah V'Hitim Tzurat Lavana Shevach Yomino Chotzev Amaron Tiferet Ugedula Zafim V'Ofanim V'Chayot HaKodesh Hey!
You can have a seat. We're going to continue quietly on 152. ליל אשר שבת מכל המעשים, ביום השני תקרת תתברך מושיענו על שבח מעשה ידיך, ועל מאירי אור שעשית יפרו חסלה. We'll join together with Rose on page 153 at the arrows.
כולם אהובים, כולם ברורים, כולם גיבורים, וכולם עושים באימה וביראה רצון קנה, וכולם פותחים את פיהם בקדושה וטהרה, בשירה וזמרה, ומברכים ומשבחים ופועלים ומריצים ומכפישים וממליכים.
את שם האל המלך, הגדול הגיבור, והנורא קדוש הוא.
וכולם מקבלים עליהם מלכות שמיים זה מזה, ונותנים רשות זה לזה, להקדיש ליתרם בנחת רוח, בשפה ברורה, ובנימה קדושה, כולם כאחד עונים,
קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלך כל הארץ כבודו.
והלפנים וחיות הקודש, Zaim Umat Seraphim Umatam Mesabachim Ve'omerim
Baruch Elor Adonai Mimkomo.
Baruch Nimot. We'll join together on the bottom of 153.
Or Chadash Al Tzion Ta'ir V'nis Kechulanu Mechera Le'oro Baruch Atah Adonai Yotzer
Amen. Perhaps the angels who regulate the sound in the room will know that Rose's volume needs to be raised, but we will continue on page 154. With abundant love, God loves us. That is the lesson that we learn when we come together as community, when we practice Ve'ahavta l'orecha kamocha, where we started our service. The common love we have is a brit, a covenant of community in Torah, in shared values, and in a commitment ultimately to the well-being of one another. Page 154, Ahava Rabbah.
וקשרתם מאוד על ידיך, והיו תותפות בעיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
Adonai Elohechem emet.
We'll join together at the arrows on 157.
The door vador hu kayam ushmo kayam v'chiso nachon malchuto ve'emunato lad kayamed. Emet shatahu Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu malkeinu melech avotenu go aleinu go el avotenu yotrenu to Yeshuatenu podenu matzilenu me'elam shemecha ein Elohim
We continue quietly on 157. We'll join together in a moment on page 158 at the arrows.
Tehilot le'el elyon baruch hu mevorach. Moshe u'Miriam u'bnei Yisrael lecharu shira lesimcha
On page 159, we invite you to remain standing as you're able. We'll join together with the opening words, Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, God, open up my lips, because praying, finding the words of prayer is not easy. And we have a prayer to pray. We begin on the top of page 159.
Adonai, Sefatai Tiftach, Ufi Agi, Tehilatecha, Adonai, Sefatai Tiftach, Ufi Agi, Tehilatecha, Yai, 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 Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, Elyon, Romel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Zocher Hasei Avot, U'Mei Goelim Pei B'neihem, Leman Shemo Le'ahav, Melech Ozer Moshiach, Baruch atah Adonai, B'nei Abraham U'Mefeked Tzaraat, Hagibor Le'olam Adonai, U'Mechayim Eitim Hatara Le'Moshiach, Mashiach Ruach Hashem, Mechakel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayim Eitim Berachamim Rabim, Shalom Nofrim Berofech Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umechayim Emunato, B'Shenei Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayei hametim.
Mikadesh et Shemcha ba'olam, Kishem shemakdishim oto b'shmei marom, Kakatuv al yad nevi'echa, V'kara zeh el zeh v'amar, Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzvaot, Melech ha'aretz Az b'kol rash gadol, Adir v'chazak mashmi'im kol, Mitnasim lumat srafim, Lumatam baruch yomeru. Baruch Im kol chamalkeinu tofia v'tim loch aleinu, K'mechakim anachnu lach, Matai timloch b'tzion b'karov b'yameinu le'olam v'ayad tishkon, Titkadal v'titkadash b'toch Yerushalayim yircha, L'dor v'ador l'netzach netzachim. צדקך.
לדור ודור נגיד עולך, ולנצח נצחים קדושה קנתי. לדור ודור נגיד עולך, ולנצח נצחים קדושה קנתי. ושבח אלוהינו מפינו, לא ימוש לעולם ועד, יהיה המלך אדנו וקדוש.
Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Yismach Moshe v'Menach Oh to bring a community together to sing with nothing but body language is an amazing skill and talent, and we thank you for joining us this morning for our Shacharit services here. And you're going to be going over to the sanctuary shortly, where Eitan will be leading Musaf in the traditional service. So we wish you a Shabbat Shalom, and we'll see you at Kiddush, and I'm sure everyone will want to say hello.
Shabbat Shalom, and it's just such an honor to get to hear all of your voices. Thank you. See you later.
Thank you. Shabbat shalom.
We're going to continue into our Torah service now as we turn to page 168. Oh, I'm sorry, 167. Oh, yes. Oh, before Eitan leaves, or maybe he already has. Yeah, he's on his way out. I also want to acknowledge Mark Alpert. I know he doesn't really want to be acknowledged, but it is thanks to him who sponsored Eitan's visit here this weekend. So Yash Koch, and thank you, Mark. All right, we're going to continue on page 167. Who's doing that? Oh, you do that.
Yitkadav Yitkadash Shemei Rabbah Yalma Divra Kirute V'Yamlich Malchute V'Chayichonu V'Mechonu V'Chayichol Beit Yisrael B'Agala V'Zman Kadri V'Meruhu Amen Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevorach Le'olam Olam Me'omaya Yitbarach Yitbarach V'Yishtabach V'Yitbar V'Nomam V'Yitnaseh Yitadar V'Yitala V'Yitzalal Shemei Dekudeshav Leila min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nekamata damiran bi'alma b'imeruhu Amen Titkabal tzlon hon van hon dechol Yisrael kanama v'hon demishmaya b'imeruhu Amen Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael b'imeruhu Amen Oseh shalom b'imromahab hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imeru Amen.
Yashkoach. Page 168.
Ein kamocha v'Elohim Adonai v'ein k'maasecha malchutcha malchut kol amim u'memshaltecha b'chol dor v'dor Adonai melech Adonai melech Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed Adonai oz ve'am v'yitzen Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom Rachamim eitiv ha'ertzoncha et Zion tzivnei chomot Yerushalayim ki v'chalev v'gatavnu
Which Torah? So Aharon vayomer Moshe Kuma Adonai ve'achutzu oimecha ve'anushu mesanecha mipanecha ki mitzion tetzeh Torah ki mitzion tetzeh Torah Adonai miYerushalayim Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah
page 171.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Echad Eloheinu Gadol Adonenu Kadosh Shemo.
Echad Eloheinu Gadol Adonenu Kadosh Shemo.
Gadlu Adonai Tihu Neromem Shemo Yachdav.
Adonai Hagedula veHagedura
Vatideret והנצח וההוד כי כל בשמיים ובארץ לך אדוני הממלכה והמתנשא לכל ראש רוממו אדוני אלוהינו השתחוו אדום רדוף קדוש הוא רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו איי 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 איי
Wow. I just whispered to Fred, it's like the good old days. I'm sure that if I could see your faces, I would see you smiling. I see a lot of beaming eyes, bright with ruach, with neshama, with spirit and soul. You know, singing is a good workout. It is. It really is. It's cleansing. We're going to start our Torah reading on page 282. And you'll see that we're approaching the end of the book of Genesis, of Sefer Breshit. This is the last parsha, and at the conclusion we will say, Chazak, Chazak, Venit Chazek, be strong, and together, giving encouragement to one another, we will continue on being strong as a community and right into Sefer Shmot, and the story of a people, not a tribe or just a family, but the story of our collective people. But the book of Genesis is my mic on? I feel like I'm straining a little bit. Thank you. The book of Genesis is the story of a family of 3 generations of brothers who could not get along, in which the younger brother took precedence over the older brother, not the way of the culture of the time. The oldest brother literally got twice as much as his brothers did and not his sisters, right? And generation after generation after generation, we can't seem to get it right. Abraham has to leave home, right? He can't stay in his birthplace. Isaac and Ishmael, Jacob and Esau. And Jacob himself, the recipient of this epigenetic trauma, passes it along in his parenting to his children. 12 sons who he so badly parents that they literally try to kill one of them. The older ones try to kill Joseph. And then we've been reading the whole story of Joseph. All of it really culminating in Joseph's own words, saying this was all meant to happen to bring us back together so that we could survive, so that we could go from being a family to a people. Where we went through this ordeal so we could learn to heal and stay together. And from now on, we're not just one person passing it along from generation to generation. We are a family that will spread out through a land and become nonetheless one people, 12 tribes, right? 12 different individuals somehow coming together. That's a huge challenge. That's a huge challenge in any community, in a synagogue, in a society, a city, a country. Fundamental question is how you have different people who think differently, who do differently, and can somehow see themselves as part of one. That's the story of Genesis that leads us into peoplehood in the book of Exodus. And if we have enough time, I'll follow up on the theme a little bit in a few words of Torah at the conclusion of the Torah service. But let's start our Torah reading. We're going to begin on page 282. I could use a couple of gabayim. Mallory, are you going to gabay up here? Yeah? Okay, thank you. And let's see. We've got some wonderful readers, and I want to recognize Mallory Busto, who has been our ritual coordinator now for some time. And it is wonderful to see people back in shul. And if you'd like to read Torah, triennial reading is bite size, and we can help you out. And that's what Mallory's here to do. So we have I'm going to acknowledge all of the readers this morning. I think I have the wrong page here. Let's see. David Rosenthal and Emily Gordon Cohen. It's a pleasure to see you. Amazing. Fred Karp, Tim Infant will be reading, and John Schwartzberg. So, yashikok to you all. We're going to begin now, 282. Ve'ya'azor ve'yagen ve'oshel lecho chosim bo v'nomar amen. Hakol havgodel Eloheinu utznu chavod laTorah ta'amod.
Leah Bat Chaim Shalom ve'Yochevet.
Leah Bat Chaim Shalom ve'Yochevet Rishona Baruch Shenatan Torah le'amo Yisrael b'kedushato ve'atem advekim b'Adonai Elohechem kolchem hayom.
Good morning. So first, this is a first, number one. I'm not a Kohen, or a daughter of a Kohen, so this is pretty cool for me. Number two, this is a special day for me. This is the 50th anniversary of my bat mitzvah, which I don't have to tell you how to do the math. So it's an interesting one for me. Also, I could say unfortunate for me, we don't do Haftorahs here, or maybe lucky for me. So I didn't do the Haftorah, but I am very blessed to be able to do this Aliyah. Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Not quite, but thank you. Hebrew.
282, starting with Shishi 27.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Hamid V'natan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Binyamin ze'ev yitrav baboker yochalad v'la'erev yichalek shalal kol eila shiftei Yisrael shenei masar v'zot Asher diber lahem avihem vayevarechotam. Ish asher kvirchato berachotam. Vayitzavotam vayomer alehem ani nesav el ami kivruoti el avotai el hamara asher bisdei Ephron hachiti bam ara asher bisdei hamachpelah asher al pnei mamre be'eretz Canaan asher kana Abraham et hasadeh me'et Ephron hachiti la'achuzat kaver.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Hey, Emily. I think that we need to invite you to introduce yourself too and say a few words. And then if you do have the next aliyah when you're coming up, just come sit up front.
Shabbat Shalom. I'm Emily Cohen, and so happy to be back and love the energy here. And that's all I got.
Back from where?
Back from the before times.
I'm Jessica Dworkin, and this is my mom, Wendy, and I'm a friend of Eitan's from working at Camp Ramah, so super happy to have him here and to get to see his energy and excitement.
Do you want to say anything?
I'm just assisting.
Okay.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamvarach. Baruch Adonai hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Shama kavru et Avraham ve'et Sarah ishto. Shama kavru et Yitzchak ve'et Rivka ishto. Ve'shama kavarti et Leah mikneh hasadeh v'hama'ara asher bo me'et b'nei chet. V'echal Yaakov et Tzavot et banav v'ye'esof raglav el hamita v'yigva v'ye'asef el amav.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Yeshkoach. Ta'amod. Shena Chana bat. Zev Udvora. Shlishit.
Shabbat Shalom,
Shabbat
everyone.
Shalom.
It is wondrous to be able to be up here and take an aliyah today for the 3 yurtzites that converge in my family. The 11th, the 12th, and the 15th of Tevet mark the passings of my mama of blessed memory, Dorothy Olish Caro, and my Bubba, Ray Olish, and my Uncle Jerry Olish. And I think a lot about how this converges as well, and so that's why I took a third aliyah for the 3 of them that I've brought together. I think of them always in my heart, the 3 of them very much with me. I think about the Parsha, and in Vayachi where it says, and the blessings of the bosom and the womb. And those are the blessings that I know that I have received from them for as long as they were in my life and always will be. So, thank you.
We're at the beginning of chapter 50.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamavarach. Baruch Adonai hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu im kol hamim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Vayibol Yosef al panei aviv, vayevkalav vayshaklo, vayitzav Yosef et avadav et harofim, lechanot et aviv, vayachantu harofim et Yisrael, vayimilo lo arba'im yom, ki ken yimlu yemei achanutim, v'yivku oto Mitzrayim shivim yom, vayavru yemei bechito, vaydaber Yosef el beit paro lemor imna, matzati chen beinechem, dabru na, biosnei paro lemor, avi hishmiani lemor, hine anochi meit bekivri, asher kariti li beretz Canaan, shama tikbareni viata elana viekbara et avi viashuva vayomer paro alev viki ukvor et avicha kasher hishtiacha.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yasher koach. Beautiful. Laura, ta'amod. Leah bat Moshe v'chana revi'it.
Good morning and Shabbat Shalom. I'm Laura Infant. There's been a lot of talk about family this morning. This Torah portion reminds us how complicated family can be, but also what a blessing it could be as we take the lessons that we learn from everybody we're related to. So whether it's the family that we're born with, the family we choose, or the families like HEA that have chosen us to become part of your family. I choose to look at the blessing of family today and dedicate this Aliyah to family.
Yasher koach.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamvorach. Baruch Adonai hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Vayal Yosef Vayal Yosef likbor et aviv. Vaya'alu ito. I'm lost. I see. You're down the line. Kol avdei Pharaoh ziknei veto v'chol ziknei Eretz Mitzrayim v'chol beit Yosef ve'echav uveit aviv rak tapam v'tzonam uvkaram Hazvu be'eretz Goshen, vayal imo gam rechev gam parashim, vayhi hamachane kaved meod.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tokenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Yasher Koach. Tim, don't go anywhere just yet. You heard Tim's beautiful voice reading Torah this morning, and Tim has been on our choir and is a singer and composer himself of Jewish liturgical music. And I wanted to thank you for this. Is your first time reading ever, or just here?
First time chanting.
First time chanting Torah.
Yes.
Yasher Koach, Yasher Koach. And Tim discovered a phenomenon that happens in Torah reading. Any of you know it? That the Torah has mystical power. And when you get up to read from the Torah, it can sometimes, the letters can literally start to move. Right? You look at the Torah and you're like, where am I looking? Where is my eye? Because it's black fire on white fire and it's dancing for you. So, Yasher Koach, you found your place, and Yasher Koach on beautiful reading. Mazel tov, and simen tov, mazel tov, and simen tov, and simen tov, Yehelanu, ulechol Yisrael, Yehelanu, ulechol Yisrael. Tim, we would throw candy at you, but the CEO does not like candy throwing. She has to fill out insurance paperwork every time. All right, page, we're on the beginning. Oh, we're on the fifth aliyah, right? Chapter 50, verse 10. And who's our aliyah? Oh, hey. Ya'amdu.
Abraham bat Daniela.
No. That's his name?
Oh.
What's
no,
yours?
My parents.
Oh. Yosef David. Ben. Abraham. Daniela ve'et. Your first Hebrew name. Miriam Rivka bat Abraham Daniela. Le'aliyah Chamishit. Come on over here. I think many people here remember you from your debut on the davening team years and years ago. It feels like we're restarting the Shir Chadash, and it's nice to have you back.
Thank you.
Go ahead and introduce yourselves. Tell us.
I'm Sam. It's been a long time since I've been back here. It's been quite a lot of Saturdays that I've missed being here, and it's been great to see everyone that I haven't seen in a long time, and it's just really nice to be back in this environment.
I'm Emma. It's nice to be home for break, and I'm glad to be here. Baruch et Adonai Hamvara. Baruch
Adonai Hamvora Leolam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Vayavo ad goren ha'atad asher be'ever hayarden vayisbedei sham v'yisped gadol v'chaved ma'od v'yas li'aviv evel shivat yamim vayar Yoshev ha'aretz ha'knani et ha'evel b'goren ha'atad v'yomeru evel kaved zel Mitzrayim al ken kara shema evel Mitzrayim asher be'ever hayarden v'yosu banav lo ken kasher tzivam v'yosu oto banav Artsa kandan v'yikbru oto b'marat sadeh ha'mekpelah אשר קנה אברהם את השדה לאחוזת קבר, ואת עפרון החיתי אל פני ממרא, ויושב יוסף במצרימה הוא ואחיו, וכל העולים איתו לקבור את אביו, אחרי קברו את אביו.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu et Torah emet, b'chayei olam nata b'tochenu, Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yasher koach, and welcome home. Another coming home. Ya'amod. Yisrael Yaakov. Ben Sarah. Yitzchak Melech. Veruach. Le'aliyah Shishit.
I guess I get to say something.
Come close to them.
A nice little speech here.
Do you not want to come close?
No, because I'm feeling, I'll come kind of close. I guess I'll dedicate this aliyah to transitions, seeing that my namesake Yaakov, just in the holy book, just died and was mummified and carried us into the land here, and we're ending a book here too. So I feel like dedicating it to transitions as we transition to the Shemitah year. So that's it. It's good to be here at the HGA. Good to see y'all. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you. Good to be singing here with Eitan, an old friend, and really all of us singing. So good.
I don't think you told folks your name.
Brian, B. Gold, Ben Ruah, Goldstein, now Goldfeder because I married Yael over there.
Okay, cool. Okay. We're on verse 15.
Baruch Adonai Hamborah. Baruch Adonai Vaed. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'chabanu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayaru achei Yosef chi me'et avihem v'yomeru lo yistamenu Yosef yeshiv lanu et kol ha'ara'a asher gamalnu oto v'yitzavu el Yosef lemor avicha tziva lifnei moto lemor Kotomru Yosef Anna Sana Beshachicha v'chatatam kirag malucha v'atasana lefesha avdei Elohei avicha v'yavech Yosef baduram elav v'yachugam mechav v'yiplu lefanav Vayomeru hinenu lechali avadim Vayomer lehem Yosef el tira'u ki tahatachata Elohim ani Vatem chashavtem alai ra'a Elohim chashava letova leman asa Kayom hazeh lahachayot amra.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu et Torah emet v'chei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Yasher koach. We'll take a pause now before we chant our last aliyah, a prayer for healing in a world that continues so much to need healing, and so much that we all need collective healing for what that great illness and collective experience has brought. We bring to mind all those in need of healing in our own individual lives and in our world. I'm going to invite you to rise, and we'll sing together as we hold in our hearts those in need of healing.
Ana elna, ana elna, ana elna refana. Oh, ana elna, ana elna, ana elna refana.
מי שברך אבותינו אברהם יצחק ויעקב ואמותינו שרה רבקה רחל ולאה הוא יברך וירפא את כל החולים בקהילה הקדושה הזאת. הקדוש ברוך הוא ימלא רחמים עליהם להחזיקם לרפאותם וישלח להם מהרה רפואה שלמה מן השמיים רפואת הנפש רפואת הגוף בתוך שאר החולים יחזק את ידי העוסקים בצרכיכם שבאתם לזעוק רפואה קרובה לבוא השבע גלה בזמן קריב ונאמר אמן. אנה אלנה, אנה אלנה רפנה. או אנה אלנה, אנה אלנה, אנה אלנה רפנה. I'm going to invite you to remain standing because we are going to read the last aliyah of the book of Genesis, of Breshit. And at the end, we will say, Chazak, Chazak, Venit Chazek. Even if you don't speak Hebrew, you can hear in the sounds, the repetition, because it's all the same verb, be strong, be strong. We give strength to one another, and together, Venit Chazek, that's a reflexive verb. It means we strengthen one another, and we strengthen ourselves. And so may it be for our community and for the world as we continue to heal. So we're going to remain standing. We're reading the last aliyah, verse 21 through 26. And we call upon Mark Alpert. Ya'amod Moshe Eliezer ben Avraham ve'Esther Shvi'i.
Morning, everyone. Nice to see everyone. I must say, when I came in here, I didn't expect an aliyah today, but I'm really happy to see everyone. I met a gentleman as I came in who was celebrating his 50th wedding anniversary, and he normally attends the traditional service. He came here this morning to hear Eitan, and he was absolutely thrilled, and I hope all of you too are. The Alpert Family Memorial Fund, I founded in memory of my late wife, who passed away 7.5 years ago, who was a vibrant musician here in Denver, and the mother of my 4 sons. But luckily for me, I also mentioned to this gentleman that I met my wife here and was married here. So Karen is back here, who is my lovely wife. Thank you. Baruch Hu Adonai Baruch. Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Voed. Baruch Ato Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher b'chavanu mikol amim v'nosan lanu toraso. Baruch Ato Adonai nosein haTorah.
Amen. Amen. V'ata el tera'u anochi, achochel etchem v'etapechem, v'nechem motam, v'yirber alibam, v'yeshuv Yosef b'mitzrayim, huva uvet aviv, v'yechi Yosef mi'ar eser shanim, v'yara Yosef l'Ephraim b'nei shileshim, gam b'nei Machar ben Menashe, Yoldu al Barche Yosef, Yomer Yosef Chachav Anochi met, Elohim Pakod Yevchod Etchem V'Ha'aleh Etchem min Haaretz Hazot El Haaretz Asher Nishba LeAvraham LeYitzchak LeYakov V'yishba Yosef et Bnei Yisrael lemor Pechod Yivchod Elohim etchem V'ha'alitem et atzmotai mizeh V'yamat Yosef ben Meyavi Eser Shanim V'yichantu oto V'yasem baron b'mitzrayim
Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher nasa lanu Torah semes v'chayolam tabschenu Baruch Adonai Nusein HaTorah.
Amen. Yasher koach, yasher koach. And now we'll remain standing as we lift and dress the Torah. Who's Ya'amdu hamagbia v'hagolelet. All right. You're on Elaine? Okay, we'll finish up then. Vezot HaTorah asher sam Moshe livnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai beyad Moshe. Hine ma tov u'manayim shemet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim shemet achim gam yachad. Love away through your beauty brings on you song. Avalu ganda okutula. Love away through your beauty brings on you song. Avalu ganda okutula. Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. We'll remain standing now as we continue on page 183.
Yehalelu et Shem Adonai,
Ki nisgam shemo levado. Hodol eretz v'shamayim v'yarem keren v'yamot tehillah kol hasita livnei Yisrael am kerozot. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Before the 184. Etz Chaimi Lemachazikim Ba Vetomecha Meushad Deracheha Darchei Noam V'kol Netivotecha Shalom Hashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva Kadesh Yameinu Ekenem Yitkara v'ikara Shemei Rabba Ve'amad yivrach yirtzeh ve'amlich malchuteh v'chayichonu v'mechonu v'chayir echol Yisrael Bagalav v'zman kariv v'imru Amen Yehei Shmei Rabba mevorach Le'olam le'olam Yitbarach Yitbarach v'yishabach V'yitpa'ar v'yiruma minaseh V'yitara v'yitala v'yitala Shmei Kudsha Brichu Le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata Da'amiran be'alma v'imru Amen Titzkabel tzlot hon avotchon Dekol Yisrael Kadam avohon b'shmaya v'imru Amen Yehei shlam arava mishmaya V'chaim aleinu v'kol Yisrael v'imru Amen Oseh shalom b'imromav Hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'kol Yisrael V'kol yoshvei tevel v'imru Amen. You can have a seat for a few moments before we conclude the service with a few closing melodies. I just want to recognize and acknowledge again and thank you all for joining us this morning for lovely Shabbat as part of our visit with Eitan Cantor as our scholar in residence. And I'm very happy to share with you that Eitan is a candidate for the position of Director of Congregational Music here at HEA. He just submitted his resume this week along with this visit. And so we are taking the opportunity to interview him this weekend. It wasn't the initial purpose of the weekend, but on Sunday, our search committee, our transition committee led up by Karen Blank and myself and Laura, and we've got about a dozen people on that committee. We're going to be talking with Eitan. You'll receive an opportunity to share your feedback as well. So I think something will be going out tonight, maybe tomorrow, early tomorrow, with to offer to invite some feedback from you all, and we'll continue to keep you up to date as we move along. We are accepting resumes. We've actually received about 6 to this point, and we'll continue to receive resumes through December 31st. And so we'll let you know if we're going to bring in any other candidates, and we'll be making a decision in the first week of January. So, assuming we have no other candidates, we will make that decision the first week of January. So, so thank you all for being here, and please share your feedback. Please continue to stay engaged in this process of transition and continuing to look forward. As the pandemic alleviates, and hopefully we can be back together as a community with lots of energy. So let's conclude our service with lots of energy. I want to thank Danny Tavben and the davening team this morning. We can break precedent here and clap a little bit. Yasher koach to all of our davening team. It feels so good to be davening together this morning. So let's do that. Page 204.
Enk Eloheinu, Enk Adonenu, Enk Emalkeinu, Enk Moshienu, como nuestro Dios, no como nuestro Señor, no como nuestro Rey, no como nuestro Salvador. Enk Eloheinu, Enk Adonenu, Enk Emalkeinu, Enk Moshienu, Enk como nuestro Dios. Ven como nuestro Señor, ven como nuestro Rey, ven como nuestro Salvador. No del Eloheinu, no del Adonenu, no del Emalkeinu, no del Moshienu. Oremos nuestro Dios, oremos nuestro Señor. sos nuestro Rey, oremos nuestro Salvador. Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonai, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshiach, bendito nuestro Dios, bendito nuestro Señor, bendito nuestro Rey, bendito nuestro Salvador. Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonai, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshiach, tú sos nuestro Dios, tú sos nuestro Señor, tú sos nuestro Rey, tú sos nuestro Salvador. Atahu Shetiru, Adoteinu, Zedek Lanecha, Gdoret Hasamim, Yai la la la, Yai la 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 la, Yai la 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 la, Yai la 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 la.
We invite you to rise for Aleinu, page 205, followed by Mourner's Kaddish. Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, lategiru layotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama, shelo samtelkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שם שמיים ויוסד ארץ ומשה וגרוע בשמיים דת היום להשבות אלוהים ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו, ושמו, The Mourner's Kaddish is found on page 207. We invite mourners both here and at home to remain standing along with those for whom it is your custom. We extend our condolences this week to our good friend Sid Methner, who lost his brother Bruce Methner. May his memory be for a blessing among all those for whom we recite the Mourner's Kaddish. Page 207. Yitkadal ve'yitkadash shemei rabba be'alma divra chirutei ve'amlich malchutei v'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael b'agala uv'izman kariv ve'imru amen Yehei shmei rabba mevorach le'olam olmei maya yitbarach ve'yishtabach ve'yitpa'ar ve'yitromam ve'yitnaseh ve'yitadar ve'yitaleh ve'yitalal shmei d'kudsha brichu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. And we invite you to join us at Kiddush. We're going to close with a favorite, Tzfat Nigun. We invite you to rise or sit as you feel comfortable. And we invite you to please practice good hygiene, wash your hands and use hand sanitizer before serving yourself today. And we do ask that you stay masked at all times indoors unless you're sitting and eating. So thank you for cooperating with all of that so that we can gather safely in the future. So let's conclude our service. Tzfat Nigun. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.